every sound that we use will be coming from my mouth, but it ain't gonna sound like it. We're gonna have some fun with this. This bass line is actually just these drums pitched the fuck up. Like, let me just... You can hear how that's just beatboxing, yeah? Like, it's audibly beatboxing. And that's not bad. That's not bad. I kind of like that it still sounds like a voice. Now this bass line is what happens when you take this, pitch it up a whole bunch, and then compress the shit out of it and throw distortion on it. You get a bunch of fucking pitches that are really cool. And then there's this this element here down here. It's pitched up like 2 octaves. Let me just pitch it down briefly. See? It's just me. And it's pitched up a bunch, so we get some... It's pitched up again, so we get some... It's pitched up a bunch, so we get a whole bunch of, like, little time-stretching artifacts from the algorithm that I'm using to transpose it. You get a bunch of really cool audio artifacts in there. And I love that shit. Then this is literally just my voice. So yeah, this is just my voice going through a compressor, and there's a little chop in there. There's a drop to nothing, because my voice just sort of faltered there, and then I went, okay, let's see what happens if I just cut that out, and you end up with a really cool rhythm. And the compressor brings the breath out, which is deliberate. I brought the breath up intentionally because it actually is on rhythm and sounds pretty neat. And then I pass it through vocal synth. So we've got a talk box and a polyvox going on. So you've got a bit of vocal synthesis happening. And then everything comes together. And then there's also this thing over here. This is actually the first thing that I recorded. This is actually the first thing that I recorded today. And it's resampled from this over here. Which, give me a moment, I'm going to mute the... Oh god, that's really fucking loud. That's because this has a lot of distortion on it. So, with distortion on it, it's real fucking loud. I had to turn it down for this. If you take the distortion off, it's pitched down rather a lot, so it sounds more synthetic. But if I bring it back to its original pitch, that's all it is. And then in this section, there's also a bunch of, like, chopping and pitch shifting that I'm doing. Like this here. This right here is just, It's just the first chunk of this. It's just that little bit there, pitched up and then transposed around. And then I just cut just the kick drums from the drum line. Then there's the most recent addition here. Which, give me a moment. This is our most recent addition to this whole thing. It's got delay on it. It's got some delay on it. That's fine. It's also pitched up rather a lot. It's pitched up a lot with the transient, with the beat preservation being only on eighth notes. So you end up with like some really interesting chopping and artifacting. But if you turn off the transposition, this is all it is. I forgot to turn the delay off as well. That's what this is. That's all this is. This is just my voice. It's just my voice, but pitched up with some delay on it. And you end up with a really neat rhythmic texture. But yeah, no, I've been having so much fun. And like this is a sort of production style that I've started to cultivate a bit. Oh fuck. I dropped my guitar. This is a production style that I started to cultivate when I was working on Equinox for the last OST composition jam. Which, by the way, that is my most recent release. It's up on my Bandcamp. It's out on Spotify. It's fucking everywhere. There are links in my about. But yeah, no, this is a production style that I've started to just sort of pull together. Because I like to. I'm finding that I really enjoy audio processing. I like taking one noise and making it sound like something entirely different. And this has been a really fun exercise in that. Let me save it, because I haven't saved it this whole fucking time. Why haven't I saved it?